You gonna hang out? Hello. Hi, guys. Welcome into another edition of Comic Book Women. Anthony's already laughing at me. What? I do my little voice, apparently. I'm Laura from Bird City Comics, joined by Jen at Comic Aficionado, and of course, Lucy at Mama Comic. If you have not already, do us a favor and follow us on Instagram. Are we tweeting?
Yeah.
Twitter?
Right.
We're on Twitter. I have to tweet more.
Theoretically, follow us on Twitter. And be sure to check out, Lucy does a show on YouTube. Search Mama Comic and you'll be able to find her real life ghost stories. And of course, check out birdcitycomics.com. So tonight, the girls and I are really excited because we came up with a very cool show concept. We are going to be doing all 1980s and 1990s cartoons, anime, that genre. So to kick it off tonight, we want you guys commenting a lot. Hopefully a lot of you out there are 80s kids, right? People from the 80s.
90s.
So, are you 90s?
Well, I was born in the 80s, but I mean, it's mostly 90s, I guess. Because I was 97.
I'm in the middle.
I was born in 83.
So chime in. Huh, Jen? What year were you?
83.
Yeah.
83. Okay, I'm 84. There you go.
Yeah.
All right. So to kick it off for tonight, what's the first show we have that we want to talk to you guys about?
Let's see.
Before we get into that, Lucy wanted to bring up a little something. You've probably already heard about this, but Lucy, elaborate.
Well, my friend, Custom Slabs, he sent me this because I'm a fan of Brian, the artist, and he sent me the picture of the, I guess, modeling agency, and he told me, hey, have you seen this? And I was like, holy crap, what the heck? I'm like, that's the cover of Mark. And then he's like, yeah. And so, like a true woman investigator, I went to the page of the agency, and I went down through 4 years of pictures because it was that picture of the model was taken 2016, and it took me forever to find it, but I found it, and I was like, oh my god! I mean, that's the exact same thing, you know, like it's so similar. So I sent it to CBS Side, and I was like, does this look familiar to you? And he's like, holy crap, like what the heck? That is, you know, that cover. I was like, yeah. And I went to his Facebook page, and I was reading, and a lot of the comments were getting deleted, and it's he disabled some of the comments. And, you know, I mean, he saw, you know, he posted that, I guess he saw this a while back, and I guess it got sunk into his head or something. But I mean, it's kind of sucky that he's not giving more credit to the photographer, the model. Because I really like this artist. His style is the whole tattoo thing on, you know, on the girls and stuff like that. And he does really good, you know. He's been doing Mark and Sonata by Image Comics. And I mean, it just kind of sucks that that's happening. But I mean, it's beautiful art. Look at
it is beautiful art, but you're right. There has to be a respect between who originated it. If you're ever doing an homage to somebody, you have to credit that person. What do you guys think out there? Do you think this is just sheer coincidence, or do you think that he intentionally used the art?
Yeah. I mean, you know, like everybody's been talking about this because it's very controversial, you know, when somebody, you don't steal from another artist, I guess, you know. I mean, we've seen it with Matina, and I stopped buying his stuff because of that reason, because you don't steal from another artist, I think, you know. And I don't want to stop buying his art, you know. But I mean, he did post something on his Facebook saying, you know, he did see it, I guess, a long time ago. But at least come up with something and apologize, or I don't know.
What's the big? Like, can't I don't understand like what the big deal is. Why can't they just say like, hey, like this inspired or homaged? This is a person.
Own
like,
it.
Yeah, just be like, hey, like I did, and or like I don't understand like why that doesn't happen more often. It's like, and then I think especially in today's day and age, maybe in the olden days, you can hope people would find it, but like now with like the internet and our phones, like
yeah, and I mean, he posted this long time ago, right there without the tattoo. You could see it, and it's like just the hair. It's just exactly the same,
and it's stunning. You're right, Lucy. Just to make the whole thing worse, like this is beautiful art.
Yes,
just do your homework, do the right
and,
thing.
On Saturday, I told one of my other friend who read comics, I was like, "You need to pick this book. It's gonna be look at it. It's beautiful." Because I was gonna be on his show, and he asked me to pick a book, and this was gonna be my pick of the week. And then when it came out, he was like, "Oh, look at, you told me about this book on Saturday, and look at all this controversial stuff." I'm like, that is sad. I really hope he comes out with something, and he apologized, or I mean,
Jen saying own up to it a little bit, make a statement, say something.
I mean, people will respect you more for that, and then not just ignore it and wait till it dies down. I don't know. But
it's very Mira looking, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, that's why it caught my attention, because I love Mira, and I thought it was amazing. That's why it kind of drew me more to it. But well, that's the
we just wanted to bring that up to you guys.
The cheese mail.
So you had a little inside. Okay, moving on now, because I know a lot of you out here are very excited to get started on our 80s. 80s shows. We're going to kick it off with Voltron.
Look at Jen. She's so excited. I love it.
Okay, so in preparation for the show, I know I'm going to get some heat for this, but I never watched this growing up. And so Anthony and I, much to his dismay, spent most of the past couple of days watching old cartoons. He was thrilled. And this is a badass cartoon. I mean, I'm assuming, Jen, you probably grew up watching this.
Yeah, Voltron, and then I even checked out the newer Netflix rendition of it, and it took a little bit to grow on me, but got real. It's kind of like, I like Voltron no matter what.
Netflix. I forgot about it. We did watch the first season. I don't remember much about it, but I remember watching the first season. Yeah.
It changes the storyline, and it makes the princess paladin, or the person that can control a Voltron piece, which I always was like, oh, that's awesome. Like, they did a really good job. If you guys get a chance to
this one was the 80s, right? I don't remember much watching this one. I think I get mixed with Voltron and Transformers. I guess as a kid, but I don't. And also, I want to say too, all these cartoons, I watch them all in Spanish, so I have no idea their English names, or their, I mean, everything I know in Spanish, because I mean, in my house we only speak Spanish, and television was in Spanish. But I don't remember this one as much.
Yeah, I liked because as a kid, this is like pre-Power Rangers, right? And I know even before Voltron, there's a couple of like transforming robot things, but like to me, I just loved that they were all lions, and that they all had like cool like uniforms and powers and guns, and the sword I thought was freaking awesome. And
Isn't similar to Transformers in that sense, Lucy? I could see how, like, as a kid growing up, you're like, oh, these things are similar, because they all have to come together to form Voltron, who Anthony's informing me in the background is huge. In real life, he was bigger than Godzilla. In real life. Yep. Bigger than Optimus Prime, so he could probably take out Optimus Prime, right? Theoretically.
Huh. So
that'd be an interesting show.
If it came out right after the show, or it came out?
No, the comic. It came out a little bit later. Because Voltron was adapted to us, it was, I think, Japanese 1st, and then we.
Oh, you know what? On Netflix, there's a show on Netflix, and it's like how it's made. I think the toys.
Oh, toys, yeah.
Toys it's all about toys, and they talked about all that.
The toys that made us.
Yeah, is it the toys that we made? Yeah,
The toys that made us.
Made us, yeah, yes. I love that show. And I remember they talked about this. Yeah,
it was a cool. I remember as a kid in the 80s wanting this toy, but then we weren't super well off, so I could not ever have this toy. So as an adult, that's why as an adult, when that Netflix series came out and they redid it and they did these, I like waited until the hype died down and then I bought them for like super cheap.
You know, at the store, the comic book store where I worked at, when we kind of first opened, they had that huge one still in the box.
Nice.
And I think somebody bought it, ended up buying it, but the box was kind of like the little damaged because obviously it was like pretty old, you know. Well, no, not pretty old because then
the original Voltron toy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, how much was it? Do you remember?
I was just going to ask that. Was it expensive?
I not as much. I honestly don't remember, but I don't think it was that expensive. But I want to say like a couple hundred maybe, or a couple hundred. It wasn't as bad because the box was not in the best shape, you know.
Sorry.
Can we go back to that one?
What? Shoot, hang on. Sorry. So yeah, this is 1 through 3 of the original series, and then we found out that there's, and then I guess the next picture, that there's variants, which I before looking into like was not even aware of these. So if you have them in your box, it's probably worth checking out, like a Canadian and then another one.
That's
like
pretty cool.
And it's only the price. Like it would be really hard. Like if you're just flicking through quickly, you're not gonna
pay attention to that. Unless it's $1.
I'm sure.
It probably is, right? The Canadian variant, yeah, the price variant. Do you think that's worth more if you could find that?
Because it's rare, like the rare. Okay,
usually cool. Canadian variants usually are.
That's pretty cool.
By the way, it was really hard to put together because this is like the individual pieces that you have to like put together. It took like at least an hour.
Hey, Jen, Anthony commented to you and said, I've never had enough lions to form Voltron because he came from, anyway. It was a body with legs and no arms.
He at least had I really wanted it. And since I already had a Bumblebee, my dad was like, oh, you already have a Transformer. I'm like, no, it's not a Transformer, it's Voltron. I need 5 of them. And he's like, no. And I was like, no.
That's what he's saying. He's like, I had to be very creative with the storytelling because his Voltron was like half formed while he was growing up. Poor little guy. I'll get you all 5.
Oh my God. What do we have next?
Moving on, we have Thundercats. This one I vaguely remember because I had a crush on what was the one? Lino. Yeah. I thought he was cute. Is that weird?
No, I think that's fine.
That's normal.
Yeah. I wanted to be the cheetah girl over there. I thought it was her.
I really liked the sword, and then that like cool claw thing that he used as both like a scab, like a sheath, or what do you call it, like for the sword. But he also would use it as like a shield, and then he would also it would shoot like wires out of it so you can climb stuff. I really wanted that.
Now I want the Soren to do that. Thundercats.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is taking me back. Real quick, Jen, we forgot on Voltron. Where can people watch that if they want to watch Voltron?
So the original series is on Amazon Prime /Stars. If you have that account, and then the new one, which I guess would probably be cheaper, is like Netflix because
Netflix, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Thundercats, where could we watch this one? I was going on YouTube to find this.
It's on Hulu.
Yeah. Is it on Hulu?
No shit.
Yeah, it's on Hulu. It's the original 80s version, and then they tried to redo it in 2011.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also on there. It's different. I think
Wow.
The 2011 one takes place like they're still on that Earth.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like generations later, and he's just called Lino, and it's like restarting all over again.
This is cool. Okay, I need to add it to my list right now, guys.
But yeah, Lino's awesome. Like, yeah, they were all
yeah.
super cool.
Yeah, I like all of them. I like the little kids. I'm horrible with names, and I don't remember the names.
Wiley Kit and Wiley Cat.
So maybe in Spanish was like gatos.
Exactly.
No.
No.
I like I said, I watch all these in Spanish. So.
Do you guys own any of these?
No. See, so again, wanting the toys was always like, I want this toy, and it's like you can't have it. It's like,
yeah, I never owned any of these toys that I remember. I don't remember. Yeah,
like,
and then my mom, I think, I don't remember. She would have said like, those are for boys, but no, I don't think so, because she was a tomboy. So no, she wouldn't have said that. She would just probably like, no, we don't have any.
The Thunder Tank was cool. Like the Thunder Tank.
Cool.
You remember that? It was like the big tank that Panther would drive and like fix and stuff.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I totally forgot about that. I need to watch it again. I think I'm gonna watch those on Hulu.
And get our kids into it too. I mean, our kids are missing out. The 80s had such solid cartoons, and I just feel like nowadays the kids don't really get to experience any of that.
I got my kids a couple of them, but not this one. I need to show this one. I didn't know it was on Hulu, so thank you, Jen. Now I know.
And then the comics, like you can definitely find the comics like in the back issue bins for it should be under $5, like for sure.
I seen number 1, and it was not under $5. I think it was like about I've seen it. Remember like $20-$30.
Was it on eBay?
No, it was in a store.
It was in the store.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Our LCS has these in their dollar bin. Yeah. I mean, the condition is, 80s conditions, and they're not bagged or boarded, but what?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here.
And then probably that's why it was that much, because it was in the really good condition.
Oh, so. Gotcha. Well, and then even like is it issue 4 or 5? The one where it's like Lino's in front of the wanted poster, kind of homages the Days of Futures Past.
Oh,
a lot of these do, right? A lot of these 80s shows are always in one way or another referencing X-Men.
So Solo Munra was the best villain ever.
Wait, Mumra?
Yeah. All right. Munra. We're moving on to the next one, guys, and I'm excited. Ready?
Yep. Yeah.
Transformers.
More than meets the eye.
Are all dead. Yeah, the Transformers. This is one of the shows that this one I vividly remember watching growing up. I love the Autobots, but I was rewatching an episode today. Let me see if you guys remember the little cubes of energy.
Yeah, Energon.
What do they sound like when they open them?
When they take it,
they sound exactly like lightsabers.
They do.
You guys, I swear to God, go back and watch an episode. They take out one of the cubes and it's all. I'm like, yeah, all of you, stop what you're doing. Stop your life and look this up. It's legit.
No, after you're not right now.
It's too later. But yeah, no, I was watching today. I'm like, that sounds like lightsabers. How cool is that? But this is a very cool one. I'm assuming almost everybody that's watched this growing up, right?
Yeah.
And right now, it's currently on Amazon Prime Stars. If you have that.
So Stars is doing all these other ones that are not part of Marvel. Hardly they're taking this cartoons to get people to cover.
It's like a licensing thing, like so at that time Marvel had the rights to go ahead and do these comics, but that's past. Bumblebee was I that's the one toy I got to pick, and then I was in love with.
I think that was the favorite.
Well, it was cheaper. Optimus was always expensive.
Right. That's true. That cover is fire. Yes, this is a cool one. Hold on a second. Okay, hold on. I'm clicking back over here real quick.
A little bit with the movies, or were you kind of like, meh, whatever?
I like the first 2 movies. The one with Megan Fox and what's his name? Even Stevens.
Yeah, Even Stevens. That's how I remember him too.
Yeah. Something LaBeouf.
Megan Fox is ridiculous in that movie.
She's so beautiful.
Oh my gosh, I can't watch it. I'm like, you are way too pretty. I just can't watch this right now. The movies are good. What is the guy's name?
Yeah,
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, that one. Yeah,
I kind of
just
love
did
him.
Puff.
He was on SNL doing like a
him.
script reading or something. Maybe it wasn't SNL. He was on something doing a script reading, and he's high as a kite. I think he's a great underrated actor. But I liked the movies. They got
I
you
like
either
him.
loved him or you hate him. I felt like.
Well, it was
Yeah.
just weird to see like Bumblebee go from a Volkswagen Beetle to like a Charger. I was like, I understood it because they said that they had a hard time getting like the rights, or like VW was having a hard time with them, which is
Okay.
I think ridiculous, because as a company you should be like, yes, here's a Volkswagen Beetle, make it cool again. Like,
I know. They had their chance. That's kind of like, yeah. But yeah, really, like, I have not watched the other ones. The ones that with what's his name, Wahlberg.
the new one.
Wahlberg. But yeah, that dude, I can't. I'm telling you horrible with names. What the hell? But yeah, with this dude, I haven't seen those newer ones.
Did you guys ever
but
watch
I like the first two.
Beast Wars? I think that was in the 90s also.
Yes. No, wait. What is
So
it?
Beast Wars is like a precursor technically to this Transformers. They land on Earth like during the time of the dinosaurs. And well, actually,
Familiar.
no, it was dinosaurs. It was like a mixture of animals, because you had a raptor and then you had like Optimus Prime was like a big gorilla.
I don't think so.
Did you
Sounds
ever watch
familiar,
that?
but I don't think so.
Sorry.
No, that sounds like that's another good one I'd like to bring on one of these
I
shows.
know.
I'm telling you guys, it was difficult for us to narrow this down. We tried to keep it at 10 for the 80s and 10 for the 90s, but we might have to do a part 2.
We have to do part 2. There's no, like, when we were looking this up, there's like 100 plus awesome 80s and 90s cartoons.
Yeah.
It's like, can't do them all.
I know.
Could we do them all?
You said you can watch this on Amazon, right?
Yeah, Amazon Stars. Amazon Stars.
Like, and if you haven't signed up, you have a 7-day trial, so you can do that.
And then you can cancel it on day 6 before you have to pay anything. We all do that. All right, let's move on here. We have G.I. Joe next. I'm gonna let Jen take the lead on this one. What do you think?
So I love G.I. Joe. And actually, Peter Renna just did like top 5 toys. That was pretty cool to like watch. It's like a quick, if you want to just see some of the toys from G.I. Joe. But yeah, did you guys not watch G.I. Joe?
This is not one I watched. This was
Really?
I mean, I saw it. This is the one where I would
not
like
into it.
flip the channel until I got to Smurfs.
I just really liked it because it was like,
Yeah.
learning is half the battle. Like, right? And then you had a couple of really like awesome chicks, like who were like strong, powerful females, and I was like, this is really great. Like, Scarlett's awesome.
Maybe I need to watch it now to see if maybe I'll get into it now. But at the time, as a kid, I was not really into it. I'm not into this. I think it was like a little bit too much for me at the time. But I don't think not even the comics, honestly. Like, I haven't read not even one.
The new series. So the one that's to the far left with the Wanted with the little like Vespa scooter. That's actually really good. And it's a good like jumping on point because you don't need that much like background to it. Yeah, and it's a newer series. It's good. And then the middle one is the first issue. For a while, like you could find them everywhere, but I feel like recently a lot of 80s cartoon books are just kind of going crazy. But you can still, I still feel like back issue bins are like where you need to go.
And the movie, I remember watching the movie, and I really liked the movie, but they didn't keep going with them, right? Like, you think they might come back, or
right? Well, there's a rumor.
Getting too excited.
Yeah, I know.
G.I. Joe. I mean, come on, Lucy. This is like her thing. She's like,
well, there's rumors that it's going to be like a Tom Holland and oh man, who's that wrestler? Not Tom Holland. Really? Is it not John? Is it Cena? There's just it's loose rumors that like they're gonna do G.I. Joe reboot.
They're gonna start using Tom Holland for everything he just did on Charter, which I mean, we'll see. But I mean, why do you want everything done over? Well, I don't think work. I guess.
I feel like if they use Tom Holland, he won't be a G.I. Joe. I think he'll be like a hacker type person that like will help them. Because I don't really see him being like one of them.
Oh, my girl here, Coco Gallery, she is a big G.I. Joe fan. And I mean, you could see her picture over there. And yeah, she's going to yell at me for not knowing G.I. Joe.
We got to do our homework on this one, Lucy. We got to catch up.
Well,
How does it start, Jen? Like, I'm talking G.I. Joe #1. What's the beginning premise?
Well, because they're America's heroes, and they're trying to go against the cope. Like, okay, hang on. So, real quick, issue 21 is the silent issue, which I've been trying to find in back issue bins for years, and I've not yet come across it, but I know I will one day. Because it's always just like it's 20 and then 22, and you're like, But yeah, it just, I think because when you're a kid, especially like America, and being like, go Joe, like the bad guys, like, Cobra Commander is horrible. Like he's kind of like Hitler. Like, and then there's like Destro with the like metal. It's not like Doom because it's like more like against his like, yeah.
Anthony's sitting here nodding. He understands exactly what you're saying. G.I. Joe fan right here. So anybody out there knows exactly what you're saying.
But
Lucy and I are like, huh?
I enjoyed it. I just thought it was cool. I mean, for a while I was thinking about enlisting even because it was like, I don't know if it was propaganda, but like I wanted to be like them. But
maybe a little propaganda. Maybe a little.
But it was so much fun.
Get to my #1. All
right, what's your #1 overall?
The next one you're about to
Oh, this is Anthony's.
This is my guilty pleasure.
A guilty pleasure. Here we go. Wait, before we go, where can we watch G.I. Joe? Where's this at?
Actually, I found this out today, and I did not know this. Hasbro has their own YouTube channel.
Oh,
no
shit! And it's they should all be on there on the Hasbro channel for YouTube.
Do you have to pay
free?
for YouTube, or is it free?
It should be free.
You know how I feel about free, Jen. It's free.
Yes.
Love free. All right, moving on to Anthony's favorite. Gummy bears.
Oh, that's my favorite. I still watch it. I love this. I love this one. I wanted that freaking juice to jump around.
Let's see here. Anthony says, "Don't laugh. This was my jam." Pun intended. This was everybody's jam. This is one of those feel-good shows from the 80s that I remember just laying there with my sisters watching these.
Bouncing here and
oh gosh, he's singing the theme song in the background.
He's singing, I'm dancing.
That's sexy, and that's hot. Thanks, man.
And I knew it in Spanish. You know what? This one, like I said, I love this one. And maybe like 6 years ago, before Disney Plus, whatever, all that, I was watching them on YouTube in Spanish because they have all of them in Spanish on YouTube. So I was watching them. I just felt like a kid again, and I was trying to get my son to watch it, and he was not interested. I'm all like watching it like a freaking kid again. But yeah, I remember. Oh my God, I wanted that freaking little magic juice to jump around.
I actually would drink. I would take the cherry juice in my juice box, and I would pour it into a plastic like mug or like a cup, and then I would drink it, and then I bounce on my butt, and my mom would be like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "I'm like, I have the juice from gummy bears," and she's like, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like,
Imagine. Oh my God, that's so funny. But now, now that it's on Disney Plus, my kids actually do enjoy it, especially my little one. He just likes it. He wants the gummy. He calls them the gummy bears. But didn't you send something about? You sent us something about this, about the gummy bears, the marketing type of.
Like where it came from and how they were like, "Hey, these gummy bears candy are really popular. Let's make a show."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what it was.
The one letter, and then I didn't know that, so I was like, "That's interesting that they did that."
But they changed it because of the whole with the trading right, not to pay that they're making for the gummies and the gummy bears. But yeah, I love this. I still love it. I love it. And it's on Disney Plus, so you can watch them there.
And then I'm going to make my kids watch them then.
Yeah, I like it.
It's entertaining.
It is. really good.
Yeah, you don't have to be like a little kid to watch this. I mean, you just have to kind of have an open mind and just go in and just enjoy.
You know what?
Just soak it all
Also,
in.
I also think some of the stuff they say in there, like, I mean, obviously as a kid, we wouldn't understand. But as now, like how the jokes of like, oh, because you're a woman, you cannot do it kind of thing, that it will not stand today. It will be canceled.
But Granny was a tough.
She's a badass. She'll prove you wrong. It's like,
Yeah.
girlfriend.
But that's kind of why I like watching the older shows, because there wasn't so much censorship. It was just like, it was,
Here it is.
here it is, enjoy. And I like that. It felt more real. It felt more authentic to me. Like nowadays, all these shows are just so boring. It's like, these shows, I mean, the people,
They try
exactly. There was less restrictions on your creativity. You can kind of just make whatever character you want. And that's a great example of it.
if you get offended, don't watch it then, I guess.
Exactly. I mean, what happened to that? What was it about Candy?
Oh, go ahead, Jen.
Oh,
What was it
yeah,
about the candy?
Oh, wait, who said that? Oh, the idea came from Gummy Bears, the candy. And
because
it was so popular. It was so popular, and they were like, we can make gummy bears. Everyone loves gummy bears. Let's go ahead and just make a show. And they created this whole like mythology behind it. And that was like when I was rewatching it also, I was like, oh, that's right. Like, because in the show you find out about like the great gummies and like how they have like all this like amazing like architecture and like robotics, and you're like, wow, I want to know about the great gummies. Like, yes, there's the Gummy Bears family that we all like and love, but like I want to see the prequel where they were like smart engineers, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm laughing at Brian's comment. I eat the THC gummy bears. Oh, I want some of those, Brian.
Right? We should have done that before the show. All right, moving on, guys. Moving on. We're now on to Super Friends.
Wait, what? Because so it was in Sunday paper, and I didn't know that. And I kind of want to find Sunday paper.
True. They used to be on the Sunday paper first, right?
Yeah, and so to find those is like tough because it's like it's hard to find. Like you have to find an old paper that has these cartoons in it. So I haven't been able to find any of them. But this Autumn Adventures #2, I believe, has them as like their first like comic book.
We need to look for that one. I want that one now. I need to look for it.
Oh, now I want to start hunting for old papers.
Well, the Autumn Adventures you can find in like back issue bins. Like I would check the 50-cent to $1 bins because again, it's like a Disney Autumn Adventures. So like it's not going to be like your main Marvel DC.
And it might be in the kids section.
Exactly.
So. Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Wow. All right, now we're moving on to Super Friends.
Oh, the Wonder Twins. I like them. I used to love the Wonder Twins.
Yeah, I wanted to be that for Halloween, but I couldn't find anybody to be my twin.
Anthony didn't want to? What? Come on.
Wait, do you have siblings?
I have 4 sisters, but they were all like, we grew up on Little House on the Prairie. Like the show. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
I'm actually named after Laura Ingalls.
Oh,
yeah, let's never bring that up again. But anyway, no, they weren't really into cartoons the same way I was, so I couldn't find anybody to be my twin.
You and Anthony should do that for Halloween next year.
What do you think, Ant? You down for it? You in purple tights? Hey,
that'll be cool.
You'll be my twin.
I'm down.
Yeah, he'll do
it.
Oh,
now he did. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, I only watched a couple episodes of these growing up, though. But actually, that's not true. I watched more than a couple of them. But yeah, my sisters never got into it. They thought it was too
manly,
boy,
or
too much superheroes, not enough girls, which is
only Wonder Woman, I guess. Yeah, I don't remember. I honestly don't remember watching it as much. I think it was like later on when I was a little older when I started watching them. But now,
real quick, Keith. I think it'd be really cool if one of Laura's kids was Blip.
Which one? Who's gonna be Blip? I think we'll make that Adam. That's King Christensen saying.
Who's Blip, though?
Blip is. Oh, actually, I don't see him. Hold on.
What?
I'm gonna show you who Blip is. Stand by.
What the?
It's a little monkey.
With the blip.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hold on, but I'm gonna show
yeah.
Anthony a picture. Hold on.
Oh,
Don't
Because
tell him.
dogs don't eat sugar-free gummies. Why not? Why? What's wrong with them? What's wrong with
So
them?
did you watch this
Something like
one
that?
too, Jen? This was on. I'm trying to remember what station this was on. I remember everything was on Channel 10 when I was growing up. Everything.
well, I remember watching this as a
There.
kid.
Little monkey.
I like Legion of Doom.
Oh.
I thought they were really cool because they're in the swamp, right? And then
Mhm.
I just I didn't like them as in like I like idolize them in any kind of way. I just thought it was cool to see where like the bad guys hang out.
There's Blip. Oh, I was trying to do that. That's
That's
totally
funny.
Adam. I actually call him Monkey Man, so it's perfect.
Oh, there you go.
Monkey Man.
Oh, Amy from Alaska. She's joining us live. Yay! I'm glad you can catch us live.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, we're happy to have you guys. We go live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern
Yeah.
Standard Time. And if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram because
She
these are the
is
kind of shows that
following
we just
us.
have fun on, right?
Yeah. I think she owns a
Right.
comic book store out there.
Oh,
In
really?
Alaska.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very cool. We're not on that one yet, Anne. Anne's getting ahead of us. Okay,
What?
where can we
Anne,
watch this,
cool.
Jen?
Actually,
Right.
if they still have DC Universe, which I still have, I need to switch that soon. So as of right now, DC Universe, and then probably most
On
likely,
HBO Max.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because I know
Okay.
it's coming up,
I need to
right?
pay for it.
Okay.
YouTube.
Yeah, you know how I feel about paying for things. I'm sick of paying for like a million subscriptions. Why can't we just have free TV and all of it's free and everything's good? All right, moving on, guys. We're going on to Johnny Quest, which I think is so cute, even to this
I'm trying to
day.
remember. I'm trying to remember. I feel like it's like this one for me. It's kind of like very vague. I don't remember much. I remember.
I always wanted
the
my own
character, but
bandit.
Oh,
Oh, man, it was awesome.
look at that girl's booty.
Yeah. So okay. So the Johnny
like,
Quest on the right is the first one, and then the one on the left is actually Dave Stevens, and he's the one that did Rocketeer. So, and I like this cover too. Like I don't know if it's because of what you said. I just like it in general.
Look at she got the boobies and the booties sticking out.
That's Dave Stevens. Isn't that cool? Like
Yeah, and then the boys are like, yeah, we're gonna kick ass.
Oh, what's his name?
is it
Hajid? Hajid?
I thought Haji.
That's his name over there on the
Wait,
cover.
Wait, I gotta check again. Hang on.
I think
Incorporated.
it's Hajid.
Haji. Okay.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. And I loved Bandit growing up. I thought that was the coolest dog ever, and I wanted my own Bandit, but my mom's like, no.
Well, he was kind of, yeah. I really liked him. He had character.
Yeah, it's a cool cover. I really like it. I mean,
Well, it was just like the
Other than the
adventure. It was like the adventure. Like he's a kid. He's having adventures, and then
and as a kid watching it, you're like, I want to go on an adventure too.
yeah, I want to go on adventures.
How do you guys think this type of story would hold up nowadays?
That will hold. I think so.
Well, they don't really like putting kids in danger as much. I feel like, right?
Well, not only that, but like, I mean, there's so many, what would you call them? Stereotypes.
Yeah, they're stereotypes. Yeah.
There's an episode where the guy's locked in the freezer. Oh man, I'm gonna get in trouble. It's funny as hell, but he walks out and he's doing like this accent, and I'm like, oh man, I'm like, nowadays that wouldn't be able to air because his accent's extremely heavy for his nationality, and I'm like, oh man, they wouldn't be able to do that. But it was a funny scene, but another example of how 80s had less filters.
It was Raj.
Yeah.
Thank you to cover collector.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
To cover the collector, it was Raji. Yeah.
Ah, there we go. Yeah.
Okay.
You saying they rebooted the show in the 90s?
Oh.
Yeah, they
Maybe that's the one they watched.
That's the picture. Oh, sorry. Like I'm pointing to, you guys can see it. It's the picture to the top right.
That's the 90s version?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it looks more like
but it's so good. Like it's just nice to just like be nostalgic and turn it on and just like Enjoy
I
it.
know. To be a kid again.
Well, he was kind of like our Tintin, or this generation's Tintin.
Yes.
My kids like Tintin; they watch it all the time, and so I can kind of see a parallel between that. You know, the young boys that are just off and doing their adventures and stuff. So that cover is really hot. Do we have any idea if somebody found that by chance, how much that would be worth?
Actually, I think it's a key. It's like I think it's her first appearance.
Oh.
I just like Dave Stevens' art, so when I saw that, I was like, I need to show that because how can I not? But
That's cool.
I like was it the dad? Like
The redheaded guy?
The white hair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, where can we watch this if anybody wants to out there?
It's actually on HBO Max.
Oh,
Jeez, are
yeah,
you
that's
kidding me?
true. Yes, remember I sent you the video of whatever was there on the Saturday morning cartoons all day or something like that. Yeah.
So she looks like Angelina.
It's a Dave Stevens. So that girl apparently is Jezebel Jade.
Ooh, even her name is sexy.
Jezebel Jade.
Yeah, that'd be a cool character.
Because it's around $15, but I'm gonna make this my look for $1.
We need one. Just because that's a cool cover.
All right, moving on here. This one I insisted on having on because, come on, who out there hasn't seen Inspector Gadget, right?
Oh, yeah.
It always drove me insane at the end that you couldn't see the face and the cat. And anyway,
I know.
I was like, Jen, we have to have Inspector Gadget on. This is one that I watched religiously growing up. I thought it was very cool, and I like the idea that it kind of inspired just. Oh, what's that kid's name from the Goonies? What's the kid?
I know his name.
The Gadget kid from the Goonies.
Yes, I know which one you know.
He makes the teeth come up and it grabs the.
Yeah, what about it?
What's his name?
I don't know.
I'm gonna look
Booty
it up real quick.
Booty Traps. Yeah, but what was his name?
He's so funny.
Anyway, the point being is that it inspired engineering out of kids. Oh man,
it was kind of like the Rube Goldberg inventions because it was like he would do something with the lever and he would do something. Yeah.
Data.
No, Data. There we go. Data. There we go.
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry, that was trying to.
You know, my husband was watching a movie the other day with him while he was still young. It was a low budget movie. It was horrible. Martial arts. It was really bad. It was funny. But yes, this one, I love this one too. That's ding, 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 ding. The little song.
And Penny.
Yeah. And they made that movie. What was it? In the early 2000s, maybe? Do you remember the movie?
I do.
With Matthew Broderick.
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
Yes. I liked it.
Right.
I liked it. I don't think it did that good, but
I wasn't fond of the movie. I didn't think it was. It wasn't. I don't know. It didn't have the same feel to it. But maybe I was just being judgmental because
it came out in 1989. And it's on Disney Plus, the movie. So if you want to watch it,
yeah, the movie is, and then if you want to watch the cartoon, it stars Amazon Prime.
Inspector Gadget was inspired by Peter Sellers' Inspector Clouseau.
Clouseau.
Oh.
Clouseau.
So
I did not know that.
The real person. That's pretty cool.
So that it's interesting. When we're trying to find comic books, the American version is the new Free Comic Book Day, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
I
the
think
first,
I have it.
You did?
No, I don't know if it's this one, but it's an Inspector Gadget comic. I should look for it.
Oh, I want to see it. What do you have?
Oh,
I'm coming to your house now.
And then the one below the picture is actually the first appearance. It took me a while to track down. It's a French magazine from July of '84. And so that's his first, and you can kind of, if you zoomed in on it, you can see him in the middle. And he has actually.
Oh, yes, I see it.
Yeah. And then if you but I think in November of '84 was an actual cover that had him more prominently displayed on it. Mm-hmm. But I just couldn't believe it was a French magazine that had him first.
That's crazy. Was it first out there, the cartoon? No, it was here, right? In the United States when it came out first. Huh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Anthony's having a shit fit in the background. He's like, "Get to gargoyles. We'll get there."
Chill,
Spoiler.
mister.
Oh,
Spoiler
Chill.
alert. We'll get there.
come on, let's go.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Send him to another
Anyway,
room.
so can you just go watch cartoons? Moving on, we got Dennis the Menace again. This was Lucy's. She was like, we got to have this on the list.
Oh my god.
Everybody out there has seen this. If you ask my kids who Dennis the Menace is, they'll have no freaking clue, and that just makes me so sad.
I showed my kids yesterday the movie. It came out in 1993, and it's on Netflix. You can watch it on the movie. And the cartoon, I think it's on Hulu or Amazon.
So this is hard too. So like it's another Dennis Menace is in that weird middle zone. Apparently, the 2002 animated movie, is on Amazon Prime. And if you want to watch the original cartoon, I've only been able to find it on YouTube. I can't find it anywhere else.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, my kids watched the movie. They didn't want to watch it, and I just played. I'm like, well, I'm gonna watch it, and they end up watching it, and they liked it. But I love Dennis the Menace because I was a little punk when I was little.
Hey, Mr. Wilson.
God, I love it. I love it. Yes. Yeah, I was a bad kid. I mean, not bad. I was a fun kid.
You look like a little angel. You're like a little cherub. There's no way that you were bad. There's no way.
Oh, Laura, you need to get to know me better.
Keith said this is a classic TV show in the 60s?
It was, but then it kept going all the way to the 80s. It's only like 3 seasons, but
The cartoon.
And it just went. Oh, I don't know if it stopped during that time, and then later on they brought it back or what.
Yeah.
But,
So there's the original like 60s live action black and white, and then in the 80s they had the cartoon for a couple seasons, and then it came back as that movie, and then they also did the live action movie, and then they remade that one movie in 2002. So I was like, that's interesting that they did an animated movie after Matthew Broderick was in.
Well, yeah, because Dennis the Menace, the season 2 was on 86, and that's when I think they just went from there. And then in 93, the movie came out. But yeah, I love this movie. I mean, cartoon.
Yeah,
and the movie too. I like the movie too. I thought it was really fun. And I think they did another one, but it was a different kid, and I don't think it was as good. I honestly don't remember. Oh, they tried. Oh, it was like a low budget. I don't remember. I remember seeing something. Oh, unless I'm confusing it with Home Alone. Who knows?
Do you guys remember when he ruined the flower? Or he made him miss the flower blooming, I guess is a better way of putting that. Do you guys remember that scene? I was like heartbroken. I got upset during that scene. It was like, oh man, the flower that only blooms like once every, how long? 40 years?
Yeah, Mr. Wilson was so heartbroken, so mad, and that's when he kind of
That was Walter Matthau? Matthau? Is that how you say his last name? I'm messing up the name. Yeah, you know, from Grumpy Old Men.
Yeah, Walter. I can't remember. I can't pronounce his last name. Math something. Yes, Math.
Those movies are fantastic too. We should pay homage to him by going back and watching Grumpy Old Men. Sophia Loren in those movies, right? Huh?
I was watching it. I didn't finish it, but I think it's on HBO Max. Yeah.
This is like a commercial for HBO Max. I'm not paying for it, you guys. I refuse.
I mean, I'm gonna have to switch over because I did DC Universe like a not great smart person. Because I just wanted to do all that stuff. But now I'm switching, so.
Oh, Chad Cave is trying to teach us how to say his last name. Matt. I can't spell it.
Oh, sorry, Brian. Brian's touching something. I'm touching something. All right, moving on. Spider-Man.
Yay.
Anthony and I rewatched the first episode of this today. No, wait, no. It wasn't this one. It was The Adventures of Spider-Man. Never mind. Jen, take over.
Okay. Yeah, I never watched this one either.
This is the wrong one.
So it's like him in college, and it's Iceman and Firestar are his friends. And I just like how they like razz on each other. And I like when Aunt May leaves the room, like all his tables turn, and it's like a cool like layer all of a sudden. And this is like my first Spider-Man cartoon that I got introduced to, and I liked it. Like I tried rewatching it, and I don't think it holds up as well, but
You watched this before Adventures of Spider-Man?
yeah, this is like, it was this and that live action Spider-Man, which, oh my God, as a kid even, and that was the 80s too, wasn't it? The live action Spider-Man, where he's like running on a building, and then it'll cut to a scene, and like all of a sudden he has a belt on, and you're like, what? And then he cuts again, and the belt's gone. And I'm like, even as a kid, I'm like, continuity. Like, what? He didn't have that before. Like,
Continuity, people. Continuity. Makes no sense.
That's funny. Oh
But
my god, yeah.
it was fun, like, because I knew that Iceman was an X-Men and Firestar. So this is interesting. So the comic book is her first, and his Amazing Friends is her first iteration, but not in continuity. She comes later in an X-Men book, but she's never really been, at least from my understanding, like a true like X-Men. She just has the powers, and she comes and helps every now and then. But I just liked that they were friends, and that they.
That's cool. I need to watch this one. Where can we watch this one?
This actually is on Disney Plus.
Oh yeah, that is true. Duh, I seen it there.
Disney Plus. I own that. I can do that one. All right, I'm speeding up here a little bit because we're just so far behind. But hopefully you guys are enjoying it. Give us a thumbs up if you are liking the show. Make sure that you subscribe if you're liking the show, and leave a comment. Leave a bloody comment. It means a lot to us, and we will respond. We like to hear your feedback. If you have ideas for future shows, we are always listening, like genuinely. This is a really unique show in the sense that we have, female hosts, and we're giving our perspectives on things, but we want your feedback. Moving on.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay, Jen, go ahead. Go ahead, Jen.
Yes,
I'm not even
love
gonna
this
see
one.
So I have very vivid memories of watching this on Fox, and like right away, I think Morph dies in like this first or second episode, and so I was like, "Whoa!" Like this isn't like I other shows we watch too. People would like die on, but this was, I feel like, more intense. And this was like what my introduction to the X-Men, because I didn't read the comics until I saw this as a cartoon when I was a kid. And then this #1, you can easily get it in like $1 bins if you go to LCS's. I wouldn't pay more than $5. Make sure good condition. But yeah, like it's, especially if you can't own like X-Men #1 from like the 60s, like this is I feel like a good like jumping on point. Even like Omega Red is kind of getting kind of crazy. So there's Omega Red's first appearance in X-Men Adventures. That's another one to kind of like go for. But it was just so much fun, and like Rogue was cooler, and that's why when the movie came out,
Rogue,
right? And like her backstory is like, whoa, she stole those powers from Carol, and like what? And then like Mystique,
that's when I fell in love with Rogue and Storm. Those two were my characters. I love them. I just love like how Storm. I mean, obviously at the time I didn't realize that's why I liked her, but it was like so mature, like in Rogue too. Like they're really not. I don't know. I just love them. Jubilee, she used to get on my nerves, and she still does. I just think she's such a brat. But I love her look. I love the way she looks. I like her outfit and everything. But at the time, I remember I'm like, oh, she's annoying.
I have to agree with you there. Although Storm I never got into Storm.
Her
stuff just, I don't know.
Well, she was just, I like that she started off as so in this comic, cartoon, you get introduced to like her being like a thief and working for the Shadow King, and the whole storyline was freaking crazy with the Shadow King, and you're like, what? Like, real quick, Chad. So not my first experience with death, but I just thought like Morph's death was it was felt, because then it went through episodes, and then when he comes back later and he's evil, you're like, okay, so he didn't die, but now he's like all messed up in the head because like he thinks that they just left him. Like I was still in grade school when this came out. It was cool it wasn't cool. It was just interesting to like see it happen and then have it affect future storylines. Usually in cartoons before
Right.
that,
Hmm.
maybe like one episode and they move on to the next one. This was like you felt it throughout, and then when he came back later, you're like, oh, I thought he was dead, but he's not. What? And then, yeah.
Yeah.
This is your favorite series, right?
Yeah. I would. It's really when you said to pick 10, I was like, I can't do that. That's really hard. It's like my top. It's one of my top favorites, definitely.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
this one.
Is this where can you watch this right now?
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus?
Yep.
I went onto YouTube today and I'm like watching all these episodes on YouTube, but all right, there you go, Disney Plus. There's no excuse for not going out there and starting this. And again, if you have kids, get your kids into it, huh? Anthony said Gambit was his favorite. He wants you to know that.
It's pretty
So
cool.
he had a cool storyline too about like working for the Thieves Guild and like, oh man, like it was just so cool, like how they just went into the lore, and it was supposed to be for kids, again, like elementary school. But
And he was always hitting on Rogue.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that was just, you
They're
know,
so cute. And you know what? Watching it now as an adult, it's like you don't realize how intense the episodes are, and how like they're. It's like it's like so I don't know. It's just so mature, like, and you don't realize as a kid you're watching it, you just think you're watching just the cartoon, but now as an adult, it's like you see a whole different, it's just different. You see it different, and it's
Dude,
like,
try
oh,
watching Clueless now that we're our ages. Clueless, there were so many things that went over my head where she's like, do you guys have Coke? And she's like, yeah, of course we have Coke. And she's like, really, can I get some? And I never got it. I thought she wanted, fountain beverage.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
I never understood
I mean,
so many things.
Hocus Pocus. I didn't realize how much they mentioned virgin. It's not a Disney. It was a Disney Channel. How can they mention that and emphasize, well, he's a virgin? And it's like, I feel weird, like watching that with my son and my 10-year-old listening to that. I'm like,
but we watched it as kids.
Yeah,
So
I know. And I guess it's just kind of like they don't realize like what it was. But I'm like, everything they say, Disney, they have like so like what the stuff like, it's kind of like, the jokes, it's not for kids,
Well, the adults had to be entertained while they're watching this shit. They have to be like into it. Otherwise, they're not going to let their kids watch it. You have to kind of bring in both, kind of like Shrek. Think Shrek. I can watch Shrek all day because it's
Shrek.
Fucking hilarious. And yeah, a lot of it's quote unquote inappropriate, but my kids don't get it anyway. So who cares? Right?
Yeah, that's true. True. Yeah.
Same idea. Anyway, all right, moving on.
Laura, I wish you knew Spanish because Shrek in Spanish is even better. The jokes are even better. They're freaking hilarious. I love it.
Wait, what? How is it different?
Because the guy who plays Donkey is Eugenio Derbez. He's the guy that now, like, I don't know if you watched the Overboat. Was it Overboat now with Anna Faris, or the remake of
Overboard?
Yeah, that guy. Well, he's a comedian. Like, he's a comedian that I like since I was little, and his voice is so funny. And in his jokes, it's kind of like the way he plays too. It's hilarious. Like,
Overboard, the remake was terrible, though. That was a horrible remake. Anyway, all right, so we're getting off. Well, that's another show. So Spider-Man, this is the one, Jen, that I was saying. Anthony and I watched the first episode of this today just to kind of refresh my memory here. And Anthony's laughing in the background because there's a scene where Spider-Man is trying to keep his identity from Aunt May. And he's like, she walks in as he's holding his costume and she's like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm just deciding if I'm going to be Spider-Man or the Hulk. And Aunt May's like, be the Hulk. He's better looking. And Anthony was belly laughing. I'm like, bro, you're 36 years old. And he was laughing his ass off at this cartoon.
I did watch this one when I was a kid. I did like this one. I thought it was good. Again, more serious, like.
Well, that's the brilliance of the 90s cartoons was, I feel like it set us up for later to like we had something to go off of, right? Like if you look at cartoons now, a lot of it's like fart humor, which is fine, but this stuff like dealt with like actual like real issues, and you're like, wow. Like even like Spider-Man, I was already reading Spider-Man before I watched this cartoon, and it just, man, it was so good. But I didn't know. Someone said that he never punches anybody because Fox didn't want to show him punching. So if you look, he kicks a lot of people, or he'll tackle them, but he won't like straight on punch them in the face. And I'm like, huh. So I started watching a couple episodes, and I'm like, oh shoot, he's not punching anyone.
That's interesting. I guess I never paid attention to that. Now that you're mentioning, I'm gonna pay attention to see. Be like,
well, yeah, when you start looking into the time frames, like I know that Golden Age issues of Batman, maybe it's Silver, he's able to use guns, which Batman does not use guns. You do not see that anymore. That's like a giant no-no. But the earlier issues, you'll see him having no problem just taking one of his enemies out with a Glock or whatever. You know, like, yeah, it's kind of the same concept. There were certain restrictions in the earlier stuff because now Spider-Man has no problem.
Yeah.
And then this #1 issue is not super sought after, so again, like dollar bins. So like, there's like some like later issues of like Venom and him in a black costume that go for more, but the #1 you should get it for like $1, if not like 50 cents.
Well, where do we watch this today? We were on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus. Disney Plus.
Yeah. Disney owns the world. Everything's owned by Disney.
Yeah.
I'm not bitter. I'm all fine with it. Okay. This one, I was excited to get to this because this is one of Anthony's favorites, and I watched it mostly for him. But this, and look. Hell yes.
That's cool.
Wow.
I like Grey Ghost a lot. It's out there. You guys can get it.
Oh, that's so badass. Now, the Batman animated series I thought was very intriguing because this is where you see, not for the first time, but you definitely see the comic book coming onto the screen, but in a dark way. And it appeals to the adult audience. Again, you have the adults kind of being drug into this, and not drug into it, but pulled into this. And even the way it's shot, it's a very dark, kind of quiet, slow show.
Yeah.
It won awards.
It did.
I thought it won like an Emmy.
Oh, wow.
For a daytime. Yeah, it won it. If I remember correctly, it won awards. Like it was that good. They did a really good job with storytelling and appealing to both kids and adults.
Yeah, I was a little older to one that I will sit down and like we needed to watch. We'll get ready with my cousins in front of the TV, be like to watch.
Well, wasn't this on during Prime on Fox? Like it was that good that they actually gave it a Prime spot on Fox?
Yeah.
So I think they did that with Mask of the Phantasm, the movie that later got put right. They put that on the prime time. I think a couple of episodes maybe did, but it was. I think it was both after school and then on Saturdays, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I thought this one was one that got pretty popular pretty quick, and I think the only reason they canceled it was because the creators didn't want to. They essentially ran out of ideas. They didn't want to keep on putting episodes up if it wasn't up to the standard that they had already created. But then again, it comes back a few years later. But they do the sequel a few years later. But that's why they actually got rid of this. It was doing great, but they just wanted to give it
go on a high note.
Yeah, let it go on a high note. Essentially, yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. And this one, where can we watch this one? Do you know?
This is also DC Universe and essentially HBO Max. But yeah, this one I didn't know it was Mark Hamill as Joker until later, and I was like, Luke Skywalker is Joker,
right?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, I didn't find that till I got into comics. I didn't know. But that's
there's somebody in here saying it was the best Joker voice, and Yee saying that all he hears is Kevin Conroy as Batman in my head. He was still regarded as one of the best Batmans. Yeah. Hold on. Okay, it's Saturday morning and tunes are about to come. What kind of cereal are you eating? Lucky Charms. That's what you want me to read? Oh my God. Sorry.
Come on, guys.
But
Trick. For me was Trick.
Sorry. The Grey Ghost episode is my favorite because Adam West was Grey Ghost. And it was cool to see Batman or Bruce Wayne like nerd out. And then if you pay attention in like Batman Beyond, he actually has Grey Ghost like like a section. Oh, he had that section also in the Batcave in the animated series, but in Batman Beyond, he still had that. And when Ink breaks into the Batcave and he has to hide his identity, he puts on the goggles from Grey Ghost to hide his identity. And I was like, continuity, this is awesome.
The things you will pay attention, it's crazy. Like, I don't think I will pay attention to any of that, like, as a kid.
I love Grey Ghost. Like, Grey Ghost was like my favorite. That's why I was kind of upset, like, when like nothing else came from it. And then he was in that. So the comic you see right on screen is his first appearance that I found. I don't know if anyone like a Topher's out there that knows better than I do, but like that's what I found is his first appearance. And then there's also like the second cover that has done that figures, because before that it was some other Scud. Scud has a action figure variant, and that's the first action figure variant is that Scud one. This is the second one. So I have a couple of this one because I like Grey Ghost so much.
You guys, are you looking at the chat here? Anthony started a whole shitstorm over here. Apparently Saturday with your bowl of cereal, first thing in the morning was a big deal. We have Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. McClay up here said original Tricks and Captain Crunch, baby.
Oh yes, Captain Crunch. Oh, I love. Yeah, Tricks and Captain Crunch was for me. Yep, those two.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch all the way. Maybe Rice Krispies because I like to hear the little elves in my bowl.
You know, in Mexico we had this the Frosted Flakes, but it was the chocolate ones, and now I never seen them out here till like recently. But it was so yummy. Yeah.
All right. Well, that sounds good. Take that and wrap it in like a ball of vanilla ice cream. It's like anyway. Darkwing Duck.
Oh.
Anthony goes, oh my gosh! Like this. Everybody watched.
Look at her. Oh, that is so cool.
It's signed by the voice actor. Whoop, that's right here.
That is so cool.
Oh, that's badass. I mean, this is one that, from what I understand, Jen, from you saying prior to the show, this is difficult to find, right?
So whenever I go into a comic book store and they ask me what I'm looking for, I don't want to say too much, but I always ask Darkwing Duck because it's that one that, like, if they have it, then they know about it. They'll help me find it. But usually it's a no. Like usually when I ask for this comic, either to a vendor at a comic convention or an LCS or comic shop, like they say no. And if they do have it, they're beat to heck. Like, and so I usually pick and choose.
Anybody out there had that middle one? Has anybody found it?
That's the one you cool cover.
Yeah, that's the one I have maybe been able to find. I find it on the internet every now and then for like 20, but now it's like going for I think like 50.
$300 for a 9.8.
Oh, really?
Graded.
Ooh. So, because it's a, I think you all know, right? The one in the middle is homaging Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the one on the right is for the Killing Joke. That one I found a couple of times. I have a couple of those, and then Darkwing number one, I have a couple also. But like, if I feel like they're in the kids section a lot, right? If you're at a place that is unaware, they should be for around cover. But they're just really hard to find. Like I have a really hard time finding them in the wild.
We'll see. Gotta look to see if we can find those.
Yeah.
There's an Adventures in Babysitting homage out there too.
Yeah, I have that one. I like that. That's pretty cool. There's also another one that's like homaging a Batman one where it's like a girl's like running and then he's like in the background. Oh man. I'm sorry. Bad pictures.
An old Adam cover.
Yeah. Darkwing Duck was awesome. I liked it a lot. Like
I don't remember watching much of this one. I think like just here and there, but not as much.
Drake, so his real name in the show is Drake Mallard.
Oh.
So Drake Mallard is Darkwing Duck. Yeah.
That's funny.
Mallard, get it?
Yeah. And funny. Drake, yeah. Like, it's fun. I mean, this is also on Disney Plus. I would say if you're gonna start watching it, I tried watching it from the first couple episodes and I had a hard time actually, like rewatching it. But when I got later, there's like one where it's about they're writing a comic about Darkwing Duck, but it's like lame. Like he's lame in the story. So he's like, I'll rewrite it for you. And like everyone keeps reading it and they keep like editing it and like adding new things to it. Like it gets cute. Like, and I liked it like maybe middle way and then beyond.
Yeah, I think this is another solid one, especially if you want to get your kids into stuff from the 90s. We're in the 90s now, so.
And then there's I don't know if it's true or not, because I've heard this a couple of times, that they're possibly going to be redoing it, like rebooting it.
Oh, I heard
Everything
something
eventually
like that.
rebooted, right?
That they might reboot this one. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
within the past year, Disney put out it's a Disney Adventures or Disney, and basically it was like a comic that had 3 stories in it, and he was in like the first 3. Wait, oh shoot, he's in like a couple of them where it's like it basically tells the story of like where he's been all this time, and that's within the past year. I think it has been printed.
All right, very good. Let's move on. Anthony's been on the background here, and I'm sure most of you have been shaking in your seats waiting for this. So there you go.
Yeah.
I really like this one too. When I was young.
The Bronx, he's yelling.
Oh, cool.
This is getting him excited. Again, this is one that I definitely remember watching.
Yeah.
I loved the voices. What, baby?
Well, yeah, and it kind of, I remember like some of the episodes, it kind of like, it was a little, it will kind of freak me out a little bit. I would get scared, but it was good. I really liked this one too.
I don't know about you guys. This is my first time as a kid listening to a voice and being like, oh, Xanatos is William Riker, #1 from Star Trek. And
you are so good with voices, it's ridiculous.
And then oh shoot, what was her name? It starts with a D. The lady gargoyle,
Demina.
Shoot, why am I forgetting it right now? But the female gargoyle is Diana Troy from Star Trek. So I was like, oh my god, that's awesome. And I tried telling my dad, and he didn't care. But I was like, I'm like, but it's the Star Trek voices, and he's like, no, they're actors. I'm like, no, listen to the thing, and he didn't want to. He's like, whatever. And I'm like,
David did Goliath, and I always thought his voice was so just like, even as an adult, when I listen to it, I'm like, ooh, your voice is sultry, isn't it? Like I have a thing for Goliath. Hi, Aunt. Get some wings on you or something. Yeah, it's interesting too, because the reason he was noble, that's a great way of putting it, but the reason they ended up canceling this series, even though it was doing phenomenal, I mean, it had a great following, but they were trying to get this to compete with Power Rangers.
Oh,
that was the goal here, was for gargoyles to be better than Power Rangers, which I mean, that's
not going to happen. Yeah,
right. And when it didn't live up to that potential and had a, in my opinion, shockingly lower response than it should have, they got rid of it.
And were they trying to get rid of it from Disney Plus too, or something like that when it came out? I remember
there were some things that were not PC that they had to edit.
Oh, they did edit it then. Oh, okay. Because I remember, like, well, a lot of people, they were like posting about it, like, so they wouldn't take it down.
Yeah,
and they stayed, right? They did.
It's still available on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
but some of the graphics, like, I don't know if I forgot what episode I was watching the other day, and I was like, oh, they didn't do a good job transferring it, but just power through it.
They're a little fuzzy. Yeah, this is one that I think that they should reboot, if they can. Live action would be interesting.
That live action will be a really good one.
I also don't understand why no architect has ever been like, let's do skyscraper with a cool castle on top. Like, that looks so cool.
I mean, I think that'd be badass. But again, this just didn't have nearly as much fandom as you thought it would have had. Like, you would think that there would have been more of a following for it, and there just wasn't. But then again, they were measuring it up against Power Rangers, which Lucy just said. I mean, good luck with that.
Yeah,
they were doomed from the start, essentially.
Well, there's even the episode. I want to say it was that the one where the one gargoyle by accident shoots Torres by accident, and so it talked about like gun violence. And I was like, as a kid, I was like, oh, he didn't even mean to do it; it just went off by accident. And then
that's what they're saying here. It's a bit dark for a Disney cartoon, which was cool. I mean, this again. It's similar, in my opinion, to the Batman animated series, where you have a more adult content here, but I don't know.
Yeah,
They did talk about
yeah.
rebooting. I think it's time. It's in the works. I mean, again,
Mhm.
Keith, it seems like everything eventually gets rebooted, right?
Yeah, everything's coming back.
Aren't they doing a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air
I think they were
reunion.
just a reunion, just
Yeah.
they're doing like one episode or something
on
like
the
that.
19th, right?
I think so. Yeah, yeah.
And the original Aunt Viv is going to be on it, which her and Will Smith don't like each other in real life, right?
I don't know.
Just trust me on this. Will Smith and whoever played the original Aunt Viv had like a
Oh, I remember
they got rid
hearing
of her
something
because there
like
was
that.
some
Yeah,
issue probably about money, right? It's always about
probably.
money.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that reboot's gonna be on the 19th if you guys are interested.
Oh, hey, Hood
Uh,
Rat Comics. Check out his show. I might be stopping by on Sunday, and to Teen Nerd Herd. Check out his show, guys, on Sundays.
You're gonna be on it?
Yeah.
If you're on it, I'm there.
Okay. Yeah. I think it's at 8 p.m. Live on YouTube Live. Yeah.
All right, moving on. We have, I mean, the notorious.
Ninja Turtles.
Oh man, and you're missing it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is on right now.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah! This has been a learning experience for me in my adulthood. Going back, because this isn't one I watched as a kid, but I'm learning it more as an adult. What do you guys think?
This one. I love it. And even I love. Oh my god! When the movies came out, I thought it was so freaking
The movies
cool.
were awesome. Like
The movies were
the
terrifying. I had nightmares.
No,
I loved it.
the first one. I feel like by the third one, the costumes changed and looked weird.
I like all of them. Even when they go back in time, like with that lantern thing, whatever they have, I love it. I really like them.
They changed the costume, and I don't know why they did. Like the first movie one, like it looked like it was real. Like they had like little sweat stuff on, like thing, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. And by the third one, it's like they gave them freckles, and it looked different. Like they just changed the shape of the faces, and I was like, I liked it as a kid. I just was like, why would they change it? Like,
I guess I didn't even notice that. Jesus, Jen, you're so good at it.
Why ruin a good thing? Why add freckles, Lucy? There was freckles.
Well, no, if they would have been freckles originally, then I would have been like, it just you got to stay through the whole way. You can't just change
continuity.
Yeah,
we got Jen on her little gummy bears ball bouncing around yelling continuity.
But yeah, this series
and her parents are like, okay, sure.
We're not sure about this one. Uh-oh. She had too much gummy bear juice. Sorry, Jen. I
told you guys the story. I knew that was gonna happen. I'm like, but it was like for me, I just remember like wanting to. Anyway, yeah.
Poor Jen. Sorry, Jen. Sorry.
It's okay.
So tell us about this cover a little bit.
Comic book. Oh, so this comic, it was funny at C2E2 in March. I was digging through back issue bins at C2E2, and it was only $5, and I think I grabbed it, but I don't remember if I did or not. It's crazy how between March and now, how much this comic has gone up for, like what 9.8 newsstand. I think they were talking about it yesterday on Tales from the Flipside. Like
the newsstand ones are ridiculous, right? Like $300 or $400. Is that right?
Like it's great. Like, but again, like I just came across it in March. And so I still believe firmly that this comic is back in back issue bins for people like, or in a kids. When you go to comic store, always check the kids section because it's in this one especially is an Archie. It's going to be in the kids section. They're not going to be with.
Oh yeah, it is an Archie. I didn't even realize that. Okay, JJ Maxwell says they changed the design because the actors were tortured by the original ones. So they're supposed to have it in. Oh, okay, there you go. No ventilation,
no ventilation or movement in the neck.
Oh, okay.
You see, Jen? You see?
Okay.
I forgive them, Jen.
You guys, look what Brian's saying. $2K for a newsstand?
Holy shit, Smith. What the heck?
So if any of you out there have one, shit.
Or check the back issue bins, check the kids sections in the
I'll be back, guys. Just kidding.
I know. I want to go dig around now too.
I
But,
need that 2K.
rewatching the series, it's really kiddish. Like, and it's fine. It was fine when we were kids, but I was like, oh man.
And where can we watch this one?
So this
Amazon?
one was also a tough one. The original series, I can only find it on Amazon to purchase, like on Amazon Prime for like $9.99, like a season, or $1.99 an episode. And I was like, okay. But if you go to Hulu, they have the 2012 version, which I really like that. I watched both, but 2012, if you have to give it like a season. Once you get into a season deep into that new one, it both does like Easter eggs and homages the movies. And I can't remember what season it is, but they actually meet these turtles. There's like a dimensional thing that happens, and they get to meet these guys, and they're like, "What? What's going?" And it's the actual, like, the people who did the voice, and like it's the animation. It's entertaining if you guys just give it a chance. 2012.
Hey, Jen, somebody has called you a human TV guide.
She is. Any questions, just message her. You're gonna have your DMs full of.
I'm telling you, I want to spend a whole night inside your head. I just want to go in there and look around and dig through the boxes and stuff. There's probably so much cool shit in your head right now.
And I have ADD, so it's not good.
That would make it even better. I would have a blast in there. I'd be like, oh, turtles, popcorn, squirrel.
Yeah, I have such a bad memory. Yeah, no. Yeah.
All right, so moving on, we have a few more to get through. Thank you guys who are hanging out with us tonight. People are pumped. We're getting messages on the side here that they're so excited that they can find these shows on Disney Plus. They haven't thought about them in years, which was the point of this show, to kind of bring you back to the good old days, bring you back to the 80s and the 90s where most of us grew up. All right, so moving on to the Jetsons. Hey.
Oh, I just started watching this one the other day. I sent it to you guys that I started watching it again. It's so good. Again, some stuff it wouldn't pass today. You know, it wouldn't fly. They would have freaking canceled it or something for some of the stuff they say. But I love this one. When I was little, I loved it just by thinking that, oh my God, in the future, we're going to have flying cars. Right. No, it didn't happen, right? But
what year did this take place, supposedly? Do you guys remember?
This one, it was also another one that it says that it was on the 60s, I think. But then it was again, was it this one?
No, I mean like the show itself. It's supposed to be like 2020.
Okay.
Probably.
I don't know. I don't
think our shits, Jen.
I feel like probably. I feel like, because I think I remember someone like writing, "Hey, where's my flying car?" Right? Like we're in the 2000s, I think, and where's my flying car? And it's like, oh, Justin Slide. And it's funny because when you first brought this up, Lucy, you're like, oh no, it's from the 60s. I'm like, no. There's a movie that was in the 90s. They're trying to reboot it. It counts.
Yeah. We almost nixed it because of that. But Jen to the rescue. We're like, oh, this is the 60s too early.
Yeah, because I love this one. And then with the comics, like they had the comic like not so long ago, too, a few years ago too. So
yeah, DC rebooted it. I actually have been trying to find it in the back issue dollar bins. I haven't come across it yet, but I know it's there.
Yeah, it's let me see.
2062 is when this takes place, according to Tim King, which he's a reputable source.
Okay.
So we'll have our flying cars in about 42 years.
And we still have time for that, hopefully.
But I want a true flying car. I don't want a hover car like this hoverboard stuff. I want a true in the air.
And you know what? I always wonder. I was watching because I started watching it again in one of the episodes because I'm like, so what happened to the floor? Like, why is the house is up there? And I don't remember. But then now I remember seeing like a little bird that says, and my son thought it was hilarious that the bird said that he can't fly anymore, so now he has to walk. And my son thought it was so funny. He's like, oh, the birds can't fly anymore because of the flying car. So he has to walk. And you can see the little bird walking. It was so cute.
Do you guys remember the housekeeper?
Yes.
I don't know if that would fly nowadays. Again, it's one of those things where people
she's a robot. She's a
Rosie?
robot.
Rosie, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but her name was Rosie. And I don't know if that would be.
She's so funny.
That's
so funny.
Like someone said that we have Roombas, but I'm like, yeah, but I want somebody to make me food, like good food. From scratch, not like microwave stuff.
You know that first episode, I think the first or second episode when she comes out, like I said, I just started watching it again. And she tells the boss off. She's like telling the boss off, like as the boss is like, oh, you don't need a raise. You can afford a maid. Like you don't need a raise. And then she's like, look, you're little, blah, blah, blah. She just goes off on him. It was the funniest thing. I was like, that is so funny.
I wish we
a
could go
robot.
I wish we could go back. This whole night has just made me just want to go back, right? Don't you guys just want to go back to the 90s, back to the malls? All right, so the show, where can we watch this?
So this is still HBO Max for the movie, and then as far as like the
you can watch the cartoons.
Huh?
The cartoons. That's where I'm watching it. HBO Max.
Yeah, and then but it said for like the old school cartoons, were they also on HBO Max or only the new? Okay.
Yeah, HBO Max. That's where I'm watching it.
Cool.
Yeah, it's still there. All of it's like that. They have that section to the Saturday morning, Saturday morning, all day or something like that section. And there's not that many. There's a few, but this one's there. Definitely is there. I didn't see the movie. I need to look for the movie there, but I didn't see. I don't remember seeing the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's a good one. We should add that to next week's list. All right, moving on. We have Tailspin.
Oh, I love this one. Baloo, right? That was his name, Baloo?
Yep.
Yeah. Baloo. Again, like I said, I watch it in Spanish, so I don't know if it's the same names.
The name should be the same. I remember this one vaguely. I only watched a couple of episodes, but it was so long ago that it's just like, this one's really testing my memory.
It's fun. Like I like Kit that like will sometimes like go and like surf the clouds on his little like, not like a frisbee. It looks like it's like a metal like frisbee. But yeah, it was fun. And then like Shere Khan and all of them are it's basically almost all of the people from the Jungle Book are in this different like a different iteration.
Yeah. Yeah, fun. That's true. That's true. I really like this one. Yeah. Baloo.
That's a good one. I was trying to find it to watch today and I was having difficulty. Where can you watch? Is it on Disney Plus still?
Yep, Disney Plus.
I was on YouTube, like searching. I'm on Hulu. I should have gone to Disney Plus. Disney Plus has everything.
Anything Disney is gonna be there. Yeah. Yeah.
What about the comic books? Do you think we can find these in dollar bins still?
Definitely. I had a hard time pinning it down because a lot of them came out the same year, and I was having a hard time finding it like what month. So that's why I just posted these. but they should be like I haven't come across them yet. I've seen other people grab them before I get to them, and I'm like, okay, whatever. Like they can have it. I'll just find it eventually.
Yeah. Okay. Someone said on the chat the Baloo is as written as the Jungle Book in the Jungle Book, so it's his name also in the Jungle Book, the same name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he always has that plane, but it's like super beat up, right?
It's that seaplane. I thought that plane is so cool. I thought.
Yeah.
I mean, it always does the job, but it's always just beat up.
Yeah,
it's funny. Yeah.
All right, hold on here. We are almost done, guys. Stick with us. We are moving on to DuckTales.
DuckTales. Yay. Oh, I love this one. I was so jealous of those three little guys, and I wanted a rich uncle.
I remember the one with like there was like a bunch of gold. What was that?
That was his vault. That was Scrooge's vault.
He does the backstroke in it and like the butterfly and all the coins and stuff. And I was like, oh hell yeah, these ducks have it made.
Yeah. You see, on this one, their names are different. It was
wasn't Huey
oh my God.
Dewey?
No, it's different. It was Paco, Luis. I can't remember the other one. Oh my God, I'm trying to look for it.
Was it so Launchpad? The pilot?
Which
Launchpad? Remember the guy who had like the jacket? He was big. He was also duck.
Yeah, I'm trying to look for their names in Spanish. Luis, Paco.
Oh man, I'm reading all the comments. This is hilarious. Everybody remembers this one. This is definitely one that's hitting home for people. It's pulling at your heartstrings, huh? DuckTales. Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Who knows them in Spanish? Who knows Spanish? Who watched them in Spanish like me? Come on, Anthony. Did you watch that?
He was always teaching them. He was always kind of guiding those three.
Took him on these world travels.
Anthony's in the background here. He's so excited. This is making him so pumped. She's like, remember them going on the
It's
world
like Magic School Bus, but
Magic
Treasure
School
Adventures.
Bus, but
love
Treasure Adventures.
Well, they even had that movie that came out in the 90s that I liked a lot with the lamp and the genie.
Right. Launchpad flew for Darkwing and the
Yep.
Yeah, the kids are watching it.
Yeah.
Oh, see, the show's working. I have my two kids over there watching DuckTales.
Magic
Hey.
Dispel, yeah. That was Magic Dispel always going after Scrooge McDuck's like number one or his first dime he ever made was so interesting as a kid because I was like, why is there so much magic in the first dime he ever made? But then that's the whole point is that like that was his first and he has millions now, but he still treasures that first dime. But yeah, Magic Dispel.
Huh.
Yeah.
It
was good. What?
I'm gonna dive in through your ear. I'm gonna find a way. I'm gonna Ant-Man
I really
your
like-
ear.
I really liked Gizmo Duck. Remember Gizmo Duck? The guy who had like the one wheel.
Oh my gosh. Yes, this is so bizarre. Like this is making me think of things I haven't thought of in years.
Hugo Boys.
There it
Yep.
is.
Hugo Boys.
JJ Maxwell, Hugo, Paco, and Luis. There it is. Thank you, JJ. I couldn't find it.
Hugo, Paco, and really?
Hugo, Paco, and Luis. Yeah, I told you it was different in Spanish. I remember.
Oh, that's like significantly different. You would think the names would be the same.
That'll
Well, they
make
did
it like
an
more
H name for
Hispanic.
Hugo, right? Huey's Hugo. Huey, Dewey. And then Louis
What's
is Louis.
Paco?
Yeah, I don't know.
It doesn't translate well, huh? Dewey and Paco?
Yeah.
Louis and Louis makes sense, but Paco doesn't make sense to me. That's funny. Okay. The origin of the dime is crazy, said Rob's Comics. It's kind of what you were saying, Jen. He wants that first dime to be.
Well, that because Magic Dispel wanted it to do like a really powerful spell. There's a couple like different times where she comes to tries to get it. There's a lot of this is like the first. So that's the thing. When I was looking up these guys, I'm like, well, Huey, Dewey, and Louie actually were in like a Silver Age, Golden Age-ish type comic. So is Scrooge McDuck, and but this is like their first time. Like this is DuckTales. This is like their first DuckTales together officially. Comic.
Yeah. All right, hold on real quick. So that was I'm getting a lot of people in the comments here that are bringing up there's a lot that we didn't include on the list, guys. There's a lot. Like I'm Beavis and Butthead. We were talking about this right prior to the show. I was like, oh shit, we should have had Beavis and Butthead on. Cause I mean, come on. That's like, we're thinking we're going to do more of these type episodes where we're showing you shows that are also comic book adaptions. If you guys are into it, leave a comment on our YouTube channel. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know shows that you think we should bring up to encourage people to buy those books and kind of bring their life back. Let's see here.
It's tough.
Do you have anything else to add on this one, guys?
Huh?
Anything to add on DuckTales?
It was good. You should go watch it. It's on Disney Plus.
It was really good. I liked it. Yes.
I mean, we had a really hard time like whittling it down because there is like I saw someone in there that was like Tiny Toon Adventures. That was when we talked like we privately with amongst ourselves. We were talking about all these different things. And it's like, well, we have to whittle it down somehow because if we
Otherwise, we'd be on for like 4 hours, right?
I think more than that because there's like 100+ shows. Even like Silverhawks. I was like Silverhawks, and you're like, well, no, and it's like
And we nixed Gem. We took Gem off, which we had that on the list originally.
So we'll
That'd
probably
be a
do a
fun
part 2, right?
For
Yeah,
next time, we
could
gotta
definitely
do
a part
another
2 if
one.
You guys are enjoying it. What'd you say, Lucy?
We can do another second part, third part this weekend. Yeah, another time.
This week, to make room for all of our shows from the 80s and 90s, we are going to we're not going to be doing our weekly picks for comics and movies. We'll pick that back up next week when we have a special guest. Next week, we're going to have Frank Gogol on with us for an interview. But to end the show tonight, we are going to do a quick recap of our the book that we've been reading together. I'm not going to call it Comic Book Club. Thor, God of Thunder. I caught up last week. I was totally slacking, and I caught up on this one. So where did you guys leave off last week?
Right at the beginning,
Malekith?
at the end. Sorry, at the end. Yeah, of the elf, the dark elf.
Yeah.
And we think we just needed like one more issue to finish like the end, how it ended, how like they defeated, obviously, kind of.
Yeah,
But
after
the way
reading the issues and like listening to you guys, I understand what you were saying about the thing going through the wife's mouth, and holy shit. It was just like, oh my gosh, this is so crazy. But so picking up from there, it kind of splits again time-wise, correct? You have older Thor that's battling Galacticus or Galactica, whatever. Yeah, Galactus. And then you have younger Thor that's battling
Minotaur thing.
You know, what's the name of the company?
Roxxon.
Roxxon, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was those two that little guy who owns the Minotaur, he's a little shithead. He's such a jerk. Yeah, I think so. That's his name.
Well,
that's his name?
Oh, I don't remember. But there's talks of like that Minotaur character possibly being in Love and Thunder, but that's just people are like, oh, maybe it's Christian Bale's character, and it's like, okay, maybe. Like we don't know.
You'll be such a great jerk. So is this his first appearance on the comics? Thor: God of Thunder. If this is his first appearance. Oh, okay. Yeah. On some of them, I don't know if they have been on other comics and then just bringing them back, or
Malekith has prior first appearances, but the Roxxon Minotaur guy, I think it's 19 or 20 is his first appearance.
Yeah, I think it was 19 when he first turns into that thing while they're in that, showing the other animals in cages, and he's like telling the other, because Thor destroyed a lot of his labs or whatever, and they lost a lot of money. So like he's telling his lawyers or his people, like, give me ideas how to freaking destroy Thor and get back at him.
Well, so real quick, Malekith from last week, we talked about how he was defeated. He wasn't defeated, basically. It was kind of like a not good ending. And even Thor was like, huh?
Oh yeah, the dark elf last week. Yes. Yeah. What the hell? That chick with the arm, like she takes his place. Sorry guys, we're kind of going back to how we ended on last week's. She takes his place to go, I guess, to hell kind of thing, and he lives like to balance the whole elf evil crap, whatever. That's so dumb. I hated that ending. It was so dumb. Like, why don't you just leave her in charge? Like, what a dum-dum. Why are you taking his place? That kind of annoyed me.
It's because the council, what they call it, the Council of the Unhallowed Dark Elf Tribal Council, like voted for him. It's because Malekith comes back later, so they didn't kill him off. Like it creates more stories later, but it leaves. I was very unsatisfied. I was like, because even Thor was. He's like, what? We did all that?
Yeah.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, if you're new to the show tonight, the girls and I have been reading Thor: God of Thunder from issue 1. We're up to, I think, number 17 now. Maybe 20.
We finished that. Yeah, we're on 23. We finished 20, which is like the end of the story arc of the one with the Minotaur guy.
Yeah, if you watch our prior shows at the end, we always talk about it. Last week, we left out like at 17 or 18, and then now we're starting this to 23. Yeah, so we're almost done with the.
Yeah, so then the one with the, I can't remember what number it is. I think is it 18, I think, with the dinosaur, not dinosaur, the dragon thing that Thor fights. I thought it was so sad.
Yeah.
That was so, he just wanted to party and have fun. And
he's trying to wake her up. Right? Yeah. He's got kind of hungry. You know.
Oh, that's like he was drunk. Like, oh shit. Let's see. Yeah. It said that Thor had to kill the guy. He partied, and he's like, but he was such a jerk. Like, he was like, "You're not my friend." Blah blah blah. And I'm like, you party with him first. And
that was a good like one shot, right? That was like a
one. Yeah, it was like a little.
Yeah.
Like a one-shot thing. I liked it. But yeah, look at this dude. This Minotaur looks so cool. It looks so scary. I like this story. But again, I hate how this one it ended. The story arc, like how it ended, how he's acting innocent and blaming Thor for everything. And it's like, gods don't belong here. They just destroy everything when he started all this shitsnits, you know, like what the heck. I hated that dude.
This is definitely a series. If you haven't read Thor, you guys, this is a good one. We picked this because we think it's going to be part of the next movie storyline.
Well, so it's really hard to not read this because of what's going on with Venom and the Necro Sword,
right?
And it also leads into Jane Foster. So it's a really, if you're starting fresh with Thor, I would start with this series, and then you can go into the Thor Jane Foster run, and it's like a gateway, and then it also kind of prepares you for the Necro Sword and what's going on with Venom and all of that. Like, it's just a good jumping off point.
Yeah, I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. At the beginning, I was kind of like, I don't know if I like it.
Lucy and I were lost as hell. We were like, what in the hell? Because it does kind of cover 3 different time frames. So it was a little confusing, but we hung in there. We caught up.
Yeah, but yeah, it turned out to be really good. I really liked it. I mean, it's like some story, like the way that they ended, I'm like, what the heck? But I mean, it was still good. I really liked it. I enjoyed it.
I really like the images with King Thor battling old Galactus. There's some really cool panels where I'm like, oh man, if I could own that splash page of that art, I'd be so happy. And it was weird to see Earth too. Like, Earth's gone. Like, it's old King Thor and he just keeps coming back. Or King Thor, no, yeah.
That was so sad. Poor Thor.
Yeah,
he wants to revive it. Yeah. So sad.
I hope they bring the granddaughters into the movie.
They're cool, right?
They're badass. And I mean, I'm just saying, there's 3 granddaughters and there's 3 of us. Hashtag cosplay. Just saying, we could pull that off. I think they're hilarious.
Yes.
I
like them. Yeah.
And I think that those 3 characters would be a great addition to the Thor run. Again, you're bringing in powerful females, and they're hilarious. So. But I don't know if I'm getting ahead of where we're at.
It was also interesting to see like how you see the old, like the Earth with Galactus, and it's like dying, but he still wants the Earth because he's been trying to eat Earth this whole entire time, keeps getting thwarted, and then he comes back and he's like, "Look, it's dead or dying. I still want it." Oh, there's the
granddaughters. Look at this. You're the blonde one. Look at you. And I just go red. Yeah. We'll go. Me and Jen will go red.
Old redhead. I can totally. I mean, look at that. That's badass.
So
and they each have their different weapons, which I think is really cool.
Yay! Yeah.
And they kind of kick ass in a few of these issues. You'll see these 3 just kind of go to town, and it's neat. I enjoyed it.
I really liked it too. I really like this run. We have 2 issues left, which is, you said, Jen, it was
it's kind of like the wrap up. Because like you're seeing like Roxanne, it's the parallels of Roxanne's polluting the Earth. It's really bad. It's really, really bad. And that leads you to believe that's what comes, that's our downfall as Earth, is like these big corporations polluting, and it's going to end up killing everything. So like you see like a younger Thor, or I guess present day Thor, kind of dating, sort of, right? That Roz chick from S.H.I.E.L.D.
Rosalind.
Oh yes, her.
Yeah. She's very pretty.
Yeah, I liked her. Yeah.
It's interesting though. I mean, you think it's coincidence that it's Roxanne is the evil corporation? I mean, what does that sound like to you guys? Exxon?
I didn't know.
Yeah. Crickets here. Apparently that was just me. I'm like, okay, they're obviously referring to Exxon, right? Like,
I think they did a good job of like making it a big corporation.
Yeah, I think it does do a very good job of illuminating how these corporations come in, they take what they want, and they don't give a shit about anybody else.
They're suing Thor.
I know his face in that. He's all
like, what the hell? Oh my god!
But again, there you go. New issue with his granddaughters. Oh, this is the new issue.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, King Thor. I haven't read that yet.
I haven't read it either. Brian, thank you for bringing this up. This is fantastic. I'm telling you, these 3 are going to play a role. I see these characters becoming something worth following, because they're hilarious, they're sassy, they're just sexy badasses, which, I mean, that's the recipe for a good story. All right. So we will call it for tonight. We apologize for going over. Actually, no, we don't. It was fun. We don't apologize. We're glad you guys hung in there with us because it was a badass show. I had a great time with you two, just talking about 80s and 90s. If you haven't already, please visit birdcitycomics.com. If you use the promo code Flipside, you get an additional 15% off of your purchase. Anthony's twerking in the background to that. He's all for it. And be sure to follow Comic Book Women on Instagram and check out Mama Comic on YouTube, right?
Yeah. Just Google. I mean, just look up Mama Comic and you'll find me.
Thank you guys so much for all the feedback. Make sure you're leaving comments for us and tune in next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our interview with the one and only Frank Gogol. All right. You guys good?
Yeah.
Have a good night.